I received one book as a gift in December, and I started reading some days ago. It's How Will You Measure Your Life? This book is very interesting because it's talking about satisfaction, fulfillment of us as business people. What is exactly that will make us happy? What will make us work, but very much from the heart and not feel that we are working? What would make us truly happy? Meaning that we wake up in the morning, we work the whole day, we come back home and we are very happy with the families and we are giving lots of results because we love what we are doing. So what does it take for us to come there? And he comes evaluating people who have very high salaries, that they are very fulfilling their career and they are promoted constantly, but they are not happy. They are successful in their professional lives, but they start not to be okay. And they mention the situation of Enron, why they were so powerful with such a successful career, and they entered to do even illegal things. What I took from these is that the first chapter, so I want to talk about the first chapter because I got an insight that it was very important. The first chapter, the question is what makes us tick? And they want to talk about real motivation and satisfaction. And they wanted to analyze what are the questions that we have to ask when we want to look for a job that will make us happy. Basically is this. What I took from this is that, okay, if we look from the side of the employee, and this is advising what is that you have to look for so you will outperform just because you love your job. This would give us the answer also, how should we act as companies, corporations, employers to make our employees tick? So these are the notes that I want to share with you, and he comes from one theory of motivation to another more modern theory. The old theory of motivation is the theory from Jensen and McLean, is the incentive theory. This is a more than 3 decades old paper that was developed by the time that they needed to adjust the behavior of the managers and the companies to fulfill the needs of the shareholders. So what they did by this time is concluding that they have to pay incentives to the CEOs or high-level managers that would correspond or be related to the stocks. So if the stocks go up, executives are compensated better. This was basically the fundamentals of this paper. What happened is that after 3 decades, the underlying thinking that this theory created is that when you need to convince others to do one thing instead of another, pay them what you want them to do. Yeah? So this is measurable, and this is delegation of management to a formula. And this is what they did. After some time, people started to question, because what they believed is that financial incentive would be the only thing that would make people outperform, because they want to have promotions, so they have more bonus, more salaries, and this is the incentive, and this is the real motivation of people that are working in business, because you are in the work to fulfill your obligations and you are paid for this. Yeah? What happened is that they started to analyze anomalies, yeah, and identify where there were like businesses or people that would outperform other colleagues, not necessarily for bonus or for higher payments. This came in an article that it was published in Harvard Business Review. And there was this professor that it was a very, very big researcher about motivation, business motivation, but it came by the end by all of the motivations of the people. And this is Frederick Herzberg. He talked about the two-factor theory that is called the motivation theory. This was a breakthrough article. And what he tells is that it's not linear how people feel satisfaction about the work. They might be both satisfied and hating the work because they look work in two factors. One, these are the hygienic factors, and the other side is the real motivation factor. The hygienic factor are the factors that are like status, job security, work conditions, company policies, supervisor practices. And what they tell here is that when people were telling that, okay, if I give more security, if I give work conditions, this will make people satisfied. This is true, but this is not what will make them work 100 hours without stopping from the heart and not complaining and wanting to do more. What they tell is that if you fulfill the hygienic factors, will make people be okay with the work. And they will feel that it is fair. But this will not make them love their work. The other motivation factor that they have is related to feeling responsible, participating on the results and the solutions of the company, sense of belonging, sense of meaning, making a difference, feeling valued. In this case, the basic feeling that the people have is that I am fulfilling my purpose. There is something that I'm doing that is meaningful. I come back home and I am proud about it. I can tell that I have a certain salary, but I will not be repeating that this salary is what makes me satisfied. I might be proud about a promotion and come back home, but what will make me want to wake up every day in the morning and talk to my family, to my kids, my friends, is what I am making a difference as myself. So what he tells to people is that if you are an employee and you are looking for a job, you have to make some questions. And if you have the hygienic factors fulfilled, you have to look this for you to really be satisfied, happy. And the questions that he tells that you should ask are, is this work meaningful to me? Is this job going to give me a chance to develop, both professionally or personally? Will I be recognized and valued? Will I be given responsibility? So by the end, if you are working and your hygienic factors are fulfilled, you have to look yourself for the answers for this question, so you will feel fulfilled. What is beautiful here that I wanted to call the attention is that if we are the leaders of these people, that they are looking for this, we can help them creating an environment and giving them responsibilities and jobs that will answer these questions. So if we are building a company where we really want to have people going beyond, giving an extra mile, the biggest responsibility lies with us bosses, we that are the leaders. So if we are able to create a routine, a day, a work where we are answering these questions to our employees, how I can make the work meaningful to my team? How to give a chance for my team to develop both professionally and personally? How to value and recognize my team, how to make them value and recognize themselves. And the most beautiful is how to give them responsibility, how to make them own more the business they are working for, so how to make them work with the business. If we are able to answer these questions, we will make them happy and intrinsically motivated, but even more, do you understand that we are going to make a super productive workforce that can do the impossible? The beautiful thing is that for me, I wanted to work with something that I can make impact in people, that I can give great business results. But more than this is give great business results, making people wake up in the morning really wanting to come to work. Because I wake up in the morning, wherever I work, wanting to work, because I learn that I have to love what I do. And I have to stop trying to find where my passion is, or, oh, I have to search this because this is what I will love, so I have to know. I learn to love what I do and to find meaning in whatever I do in my life. So I want to teach people to do the same. The beauty here is that you don't have to be a psychologist. You don't have to, I don't know, there are so many professions that you look that I wanted to look to help people. You have the biggest opportunity as being a leader to change completely the lives of the people who are working with you, just by making an environment where you can answer these questions. Can you imagine if we are able in all of the corporations to make people come to work and they are feeling that they are doing a meaningful work because we are including in our strategy? For example, how can we help the sustainable development goals? How us as corporations, we can make an impact in society and make this planet a better place for the next generations. If we are doing this, our employees will come to work with a motivation that is much, much, much higher. And this is not only blah, 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 or idealist people talking. There are research, there are studies that tell this. And if you see this year in Davos, in the outperform, every place that you go, they are talking about social impact and how we corporations, how we business people can bring more purpose and social impact to what we are doing. So let's reflect about it and let's try to make each one of our employees happier by helping them to fulfill their purpose and coming to the work to make a difference. If we do this, we will do the impossible, and you will see the productivity of your team increase a lot, and then the business result will come anyhow. Thank you for listening.